going to say, welcome to our Thursday night, March 30th, day before the end of the month, success meeting. And we've got Beth and Maggie right here, the regular superstars that are showing up. And we have got a lot of good stuff going on tonight. And but we're going to start out with, first of all, what was the greatest thing that happened in the last week? Beth Owen.
I would say I heard from a customer I've been trying to get a hold of all month. She finally contacted me back.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Give her a hand.
Almost $100 order. $2 shy.
You keep posting all your items sold. You and Jean and Maggie, you keep posting all your items sold, and that is exciting. It's fun to do that.
It is.
Isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And I'm just wondering, did you get a letter in the mail from me? An envelope? No?
I don't think.
Because I sent those out like 5 days ago.
Any clue what was in it?
Well, one of the things was the game board, so you can start tracking. You didn't get it.
Well, also, just to be fair, mail is notoriously slow. Like usually you guys got your lookbooks 3 days before I did. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I put stuff in there for you for tracking and for working with your game board so that you can finish up this year really, really big. So anyway, well, congratulations, Beth, for you. Maggie, what was your success in Mary Kay of the last week?
Actually, very similar. It's kind of last week into this week. There was one of the ladies that she has melasma, if you're familiar with that condition, and what she would really benefit.
Somebody. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She's still connecting to audio. Can't hear us, whoever it is. But anyway, she really could benefit from, because the melasma could really benefit from the ferulic acid.
Who's here? Who's here?
This.
I don't know that face.
Excuse me. I'm gonna go.
One of my
guests. Dogs.
I think this is Kaylee's mom.
Come on, girls. Great. We're not doing that.
Where's my group? And this should be Ellen. Ellen?
Hi, how are you, Maggie?
Good
hey, a guest is here tonight. I'm so glad. So we were just talking about our successes of last week. So we'll come and meet you in just a minute. But Maggie, would you go back? And I'm sorry because I interrupted you.
No.
And tell us about your success of last week in Mary Kay.
Well, one of my ladies, I've texted her a few times, but I think she's been really busy. She finally got back to me, and she's trying the ferulic acid. So she's doing a test panel for me. So I'm very excited.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, good for you. Give her a hand. Absolutely. I love it. And introduce your guest if you would.
Okay. Ellen, this is Nancy. Nancy is my sales director. She is located in Las Vegas, but we originally are both from Chicago. So we just, we're all across the country, right? How that is. Now, you. And Ellen is also located out here in Connecticut. And she happens to have a brand new grandbaby daughter by one of my friends. So very exciting. I mean, she's 5 weeks old this week.
Yes.
All right. Well, Ellen, so a little bit about you. Who are you?
I'm a HMIS technician. I work a lot. I have 4 kids, 4 grandchildren, and busy, but things are going very well.
Well, good. Oh, I love to hear that positive. So many people are like, oh, this is going on, that's going on. And I love the fact that you're doing that. Well, welcome. Let's give her a hand. Okay. And you are here to support Maggie because she's teaching us tonight, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for being such a great support. And I am going to share some successes that I've had in the last week. I've had a couple people, because we're doing the $500 cash giveaway. I got all excited about it. So I've had 3 people already in the last week. I say, just ask me 5 questions about Mary Kay, and you can be in a drawing for $500 in cash. Could you use an extra $500 in cash for fun? And well, the answer is, of course, yes. Why? I mean, who wouldn't? And in fact, I just had breakfast this morning with this incredibly delightful, darling girl that sells paychecks. I met her networking. She's new. She's like in her late 20s, and we just had such a good conversation. And she just started with a new cosmetic line that I've never heard of. Someone gave her a whole bunch of stuff for Christmas. But I went ahead and I said, you know, would you be willing to be in the $500 cash drawing? And they asked me 5 questions about Mary Kay, about our business. And she said, oh, okay. And she did. So we had a great discussion. And of course, then I pulled out, because I had in my purse, not only did I have a lookbook, but I had samples. And so I handed them out to her. I said, would you be willing to try these? What day do you think you could try them? And because I want to give you a call back. She said, I can do that this weekend. I said, great. I'll be talking with you on Monday then. So it's just kind of fun. She I don't know if she's interested in Mary Kay or not, but she's just stinking cute. And I just really want to introduce her to the products and to the company. And then I went to the Apple store. Maggie and Beth, you'll be very glad to know, I spent 2 hours today at the Apple store trying to get my iPad and my phone so that it communicates and actually sends out things, because they reprogrammed or something. I sat across the street, across the table from some other people that were getting some things done. This mother and a daughter, they're from France. And they were like, they have to be there for a couple of hours to redo stuff. I said, well, here's a catalog to keep you busy. And so we talked about cosmetics. And I mean, it's just, I have so much fun just saying, hi, I'm with Mary Kay. Here's something. And I actually did not even get a phone number from them. I don't think they're particularly interested. But the younger girl, who's probably in her 40s, said she could give them to a friend. I said, that'll be great. So, you know, it's just like, I always just like to get stuff out there. It's really just kind of fun. So yeah. I had fun, and at my Tuesday meeting, spontaneously, I got to be the presenter for 8 minutes. And so they all love me. I love it when they love me.
That's wonderful.
So it's just been a good week to be out there. But then, and I'm sorry. Your name again is Ann, right?
Ellen.
Helen or Ellen?
Ellen. E-L-L-E-N.
Oh, okay. Sorry. We always start out with what great things happen with our Mary Kay business, but then we get into our training. And so Maggie is our expert at doing so many different things. So I am going to give her the spotlight here. I'm going to have it be on speaker view and show us. Well, Ellen, you're right there. But Maggie, show us what you want to show us today, if you would.
Oh, okay, so today we're going to go over the Midnight Blue eye look. So what's neat about this eye look is it looks different on everyone depending on your skin tone. But it's just going over kind of a classic look. It's a twist on like a classic smoky look, but with a little bit different color. So if you see it on the model here, I posted this in my group, but you can kind of see just the basics. And I do have the lipstick on already because I have to put something on my lips or I feel naked. It's kind of silly. But what's neat about this look is there's only 2 eye colors involved, and then we use just the eyeliner. And there's a couple of different ways to use the eyeliner. So anyway, what I would say is usually whenever we start any eye look, we're always going to want to start with the eye primer. Now I have that on both sides. I actually have the completed look on this side already. And then this is the side. You can see how this eye looks like something and this eye looks like, what did I do to it? So, and you can see a little bit like on this side, you see how the eyes lifted up a little bit, and it's just a little bit more highlighted versus this side of the eye kind of just like, you know, just looks like it normally does, like you roll out of bed. So it's like, so I've already put the eye primer on both eyes. This one I've also put it on as well, just so we could start with basics. Hi, Helen. Glad you came.
Hi, Helen.
Hi.
And a little different for this eye look is we're actually going to start with, after you put the primer, now we're going to start with the eyeliner, because this is a liner that's a little bit more forgiving, but that way we actually have the color that we apply on will actually make it look a little softer. So this is the gel eyeliner. We have right now, we have the color primer, it was black. I still have one that's purple because of course I love purple, and I will probably keep it until it dries up and whatever. But anyway, you don't need to know about that. But what's neat is we have 2 different brushes for our eyeliner brushes. Now with our gel eyeliners, it comes with this little brush that actually is very compact. and it kind of goes down into nothing. So easy to travel with. But then since that's hard for fingers these days, it's a little longer when you're applying it. And I love how it's very flat. You can see how thin and flat that is. So you can have a thin line or a wider line, depending on the shape of your eyes. Now, our other brush that is fantastic for lining eyes is our brush that does both the eye lining and the eyebrow kind of shaping as well. So those are the brushes. This is a little bit longer, so it's easier to handle if your hands are a little bit more athletic. But you got the two options there. This one is also really quite flat, but it's a little bit thicker here. So you have, again, the two different kind of ways of using these two brushes. Now, it comes in like a little pot. So what Lori Hogg usually has is just put some out and put them on the back of our hand. I just don't feel like turning purple today, guys. And so I'm just going to use it in here. Now, obviously, when it's your own product, you don't, because this is an eye product and it gets close enough to the eyes, I still don't put it in the water line, but you always want to be careful how long you use something like this because you don't want to get bacteria in it and bacteria in your eyes. So again, I just have a little bit of eye color or liner on this brush. And what I'll start with is I'm actually going to start with going from the outside and then back into the inside, because with the gel eyeliner, it's a little bit more like coloring, I think, a little bit easier to use than like the markers. Okay, so I'm going to start through here and going right on the eyelash line. Now, because my eyelids are this part of the lid, there isn't much to it. I don't want to put a wider line. I want a thinner line, and that's why I'm going to go right into the into the eyelashes themselves, but not into the waterline because I don't want to cry this all off. I have a tendency to do that. Okay, so now you can see I've gotten a little bit here line. Now I need to go back on the outside and work my way out. There. Hard to do this eye on the camera, let me tell you. I should have done the other one easier, but this guy's a little bit more complicated because it droops just a slight bit more. So here we are here. And so I'm really just outlining the eye. I'm going to do the same thing underneath. So I usually, as we get older, the idea is that we don't need to outline the entire eye in a really bold color, but when you have a color that's a little softer, like a blue, a purple, or a brown, you can outline the eye without looking like it has to be an evening look. But usually if your eyes are really small, you don't want to outline the whole eye because it'll make your eyes look smaller. But if you have big eyes, outlining your eyes actually makes them pop without making them look and bringing them down more into size. So now again, I'm going to go right into the lash line underneath here. You can see because I'm using the tip, it doesn't look like I'm not going to make the under eyes really look purple. Because the last thing I want to do is give myself a black eye here, right, guys? So here and here. There we are. And if I mess up a little bit, the nice thing, and then I connect in the corner, because connecting is actually going to make the eyes pop a little bit more. Okay, so I did go a little bit lower on this side. So what's fantastic is there's always such things as Q-tips, right? And usually with these, I usually use our eye cream versus the oil-free makeup remover. I got something over here. Use this to take it off. So that way I don't have to just keep reapplying things. So I need the mirror again. Okay, so there we go. That way it's a little bit more of a fine look, but you can kind of still see how my eye is outlined. Now, why I say is don't go into the water line is because I personally will cry it off, but also that would contaminate some of your product a little bit more with the bacteria because there's always bacteria in those mucous membrane areas, right? Okay, so that is the liner. You kind of see it doesn't look, you can see this side still pops a little bit more because it has everything on it, but here you can see how the eye already looks a little bit, maybe not bigger, but a little bit more, it stands out just a little bit more. So that is our little pot of fun there with the gel eyeliner. Let me put that away for a moment. Next, now we have two colors in this look, gold status and evening navy. Or is it called evening navy? Or I think it's, so it's the shiny blue one here. So this is my own palette and I'm up here because I need to replace some of them. And then the beautiful gold status, which is here. So we're going to start, believe it or not, with the darker color, which is not something I normally do. So I'm going to use our crease brush because that way I can get into the outer corner through here. And again, the crease brush, if you can see, has a little bit of a shape to it, like a tip. And that way I get into the crease a little bit better, but it's really going over the entire side of the eye. So mirror we'll go here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to start in the outer corner and kind of work my way inward through here, about halfway through the eye area. Ooh, that's bright. And through here. Now, usually with these colors, what's neat about the Chroma Fusion colors is it's a buildable color. So you don't usually have that much color popped all at once. It usually you layer it on. So, but what's nice about this is we can also layer it off. So I will touch that up in a little bit. So that is the evening navy, quite a bit of blue there. We'll have a couple more things to do with that. Next is the gold status. So gold status, I'm going to use on our all over powder brush. And this I'm actually going to kind of just place onto the other part of the eye, is the inner corner, and then work my way out towards that darker blue. And then with the blending brush, I'm going to blend it. So I want to keep these, let's see, a little bit more here. There we go. I want to blend them together. Here's my blending brush. I love the blending brush. It used to be kind of our old crease brush, but this is just lovely. It just kind of blends everything together. So you don't have an obvious difference between the two colors. There we go. And you kind of see how you see a little bit less gold now that I blended them together. I want to correct that. We're going to use a little more gold. Because if you're wearing gold jewelry, I kind of like to bring out the color of the gold. It brings out the color of my hair a little bit when worn right. And because, again, these colors are buildable, every time you put another layer on, it makes it pop a little more. There we go. And you kind of see how the gold is coming back on in that area, right?
Oh, very nice.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. And I think that actually looks fairly even, doesn't it?
Yes.
Now the next part, now this isn't actually in a look that was done by a Mary Kay makeup artist as well. So I'm actually posting the 2-minute video later of that. But what they suggest next is to take our smudger brush, which is kind of like it's a little bit of a stubbly brush. And then you actually on the under part of the eye, add in a little bit more of the blue. Now, it's a very fun idea, not so easy for me because it usually just means that it's down to my cheeks because that's my coordination ability. But let's give it a shot. Let's see how it looks. I tried it on the other side. I got a little bit. So again, on the under eye, I'm just going to kind of just press in through here and just make that color a little bit more bright underneath through there. And actually, that's not too bad. It doesn't look like I've been crying, right, guys? Okay.
Looks good.
Okay, fair enough. I should add a little bit to the other side because actually, this poor eye has been crying. I should probably leave that poor eye alone. I usually have one eye that cries more than the other during allergy season, and I never know which one it's going to be. They take turns. Okay, so now here's the fun part. Now we've got the eye color on. Now we want to do mascara and the under eye corrector. So you guys have, what are these guys called? Eyelash curlers. You always want to curl your eyelashes first before you apply mascara or primer. So usually when you do this, you grab your eyelashes and you just let it sit for a moment, squeeze, and then I'm going to kind of work my way up, curling the eyelashes upward. Now, even though I have curly hair, my eyelashes are not naturally curly. So that's why I have to do this. So that looks a little bit better there. Next, have you guys ever used our Panorama mascara? I love this one because the brush is different. And this one is for definition more than anything. But what's nice about it is, you know how we have those little eyelashes that kind of jut out in all different directions? This captures them because maybe that's where the curl went. It doesn't curl upward, it curls outward and everywhere. That's what my lashes do. So this fun little brush is an hourglass shape. And let's see, can you see the hourglass? Let's see. Yeah, a little bit there. And on the very end is a little brush on the end. And that's how I capture the inside ones and the outside without coloring my entire eye black. It takes a little bit of practice. But I start with one side of the brush. I kind of wiggle between my eyelashes. Then I turn the brush 90 degrees and wiggle again. And so each one is considered a coat, but you're getting different areas of the lashes each time without them looking too clumpy is the idea. Is that's what's fantastic about the Lash Love mascara is it prevents any kind of clumping, but it helps with definition. So I'm going to capture these little guys in there with the edge there. And then these guys here, same thing. They're hard to get to because they're so light, you can't really see them. There we go. So I don't have to necessarily use the mascara. You do the same thing on the under eyes, but all I have to do is lean back and tap because the mascara goes right down into my lower lashes for whatever reason. Kind of see it got a little bit there. So I'll have to correct that. That's kind of an easy way to use your mascara all at once. So where'd this guy go? Okay. And I'll clean that up a little bit. I love Q-tips. They are my best friend. There we go. That's good there. Okay. Now, next what I do again, this is not a waterproof mascara, but I like it because it just gives a little bit more definition and it just feels like it gives more volume and it captures the eyelashes. So what I do is, if you guys have any of our lash primer left, now I coat it with lash primer so it doesn't come off so easily. Mostly because my lashes are so long, even though they're light, you can't really see them. I want to make sure it doesn't end up all over my eye area. So again, with this, I'll do the same thing. I'll just kind of wiggle back and forth on all the lashes, and I'll even do the lower lashes for this one. And this one, I can just go back and forth this way to coat them that way. And that gets it to stay on a little bit better. So if you have a primer, it still actually works really well. Now, remember, with any of our mascaras, you want to, usually they only are with the, we say 3 months, right? I say for the primer, if you don't use it very often, maybe you can extend it a year, but you have to hear the pop. Uh-oh, guys, I don't hear a pop. This one's going. But if you hear that pop, it means that there's a seal to it, and that way it's bacteria safe. So there's no bacteria in here. That's really important with any with mascara. So sometimes when people don't wear mascara a lot, I'll say, you know, buy the mini one. There's a little mini one we have for $5 or 2 different sets. That's ideal. So that way you're still cycling through the mascara every 3 months. I tend to not wear mascara that often, but I buy the full one because I love this brush. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just spoiled. I just love the brush. Okay. Now, I think those are, oh, I said the under eye corrector. So now sometimes there's a little bit of fallout from the different eye colors. And so I want to make sure I don't look like I have darkness under my eye. So that's when we have our under eye corrector. I love the stuff. It's the peach colored. So it's the opposite of that blue green kind of color. So then I'm going to just tap and like in a little bit of a triangle underneath the eye. And then I prefer to use our sponge because the sponge, you wet it and it doubles in size, but then it just kind of blends right into the under eye area without looking cakey. A lot of times if you put too much product in that little under eye area, it looks cakey. This blends it just right. So what's nice about the under eye corrector is even if you don't see it yourself, it actually has a reflective property. So in pictures or like on camera, you're going to see less, it's going to be a little bit, iridescent. So it's going to glow a little bit. So you're not going to see you might see a little bit of color here when you look at it in your own mirror, but on a camera, you're not because that's kind of the property of it. So definitely ideal for picture taking. Okay, guys. And if you wanted to, you can always use this brush to kind of go through the lashes and comb the eyebrows, but that's pretty much for the midnight blue look. Any questions?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Maggie. Questions? Who has questions?
Not too bad.
I love how you use 3 or 4 different brushes. I just think brushes are such a great tool. And the more skilled you get at using the brushes, you will kind of like having the right tools for your kitchen. You know, do you have a big tool drawer full of stuff? Well, it's kind of like the same thing with the cosmetics and understanding how to work with the brushes and people that love that.
I like the brush with the hourglass shape.
Yeah, isn't that fun? And it's easier to work with.
I like that.
So is that something, Ellen, that you would ever use?
I think so. The hourglass brush would be really nice. I like the sponge. The sponge works really well. Yeah. I love the colors of the eye color and everything. That's beautiful.
Fun.
It really is. Yeah.
What's neat about the sponge too is I'll just use our brush spray or a little bit of an alcohol percentage to clean it off. So that way I still can use it for 3 months. So that's one way to keep this antibacterial as well.
I was going to ask how do you clean all the different brushes? What do you use to clean them?
Oh, great question.
Let me grab my brush cleaner.
So we actually have a brush cleaner, a product that you can use. I use it every day. On my brushes, and then and actually Maggie is one of the people that teaches this. About once a week then I do a deeper cleaning with Dawn dish soap, believe it or not. But every day after every use I use especially the eye brushes. I want to make sure to keep them really, really clean. Go ahead.
So even for this one, all I'll do is I'll spray all around the tip that I used. I'll wash it again and just rinse it out with water a little bit, and then what ends up happening is all that peach stuff comes right off on a paper towel. That's what I do for the sponge. Now, just like Nancy said, for the brushes, usually I'll just spray front and back, and then I'll wipe it off on a paper towel till the color's gone. I'll do that once a week. But like Nancy said, what I'll use is a little bit of dish soap. Dawn dish soap is an usually antibacterial. It'll really do the deep clean, and then I'll hang the brushes upside down so that they dry downwards, so it doesn't ruin the bristles, or the bristles don't fall out from the base. The only thing is that I usually use 2 different foundation brushes. I'll cycle through them, and I probably go through one every 6 months, just because when you use a foundation brush, which is a little thicker, these guys, when the color gets below halfway, it doesn't really clean fully. So that's the only thing that I do with that. They have a product out there on Amazon where it can like spin the brush all fancy and stuff, but I don't like using products to clean my brushes. I don't know what's in them. Just because there's just so many chemicals that they can be added to even cleaners that aren't actually really truly safe for human consumption. So, but this stuff has a percentage of alcohol in it. So even if you use an isopropyl solution, 70%, but what I like about this is convenient. It comes in a container. I don't have to think about it, and it's on my shelf.
Yeah, right.
That's
You
great.
know,
And
for the foundation brush, I find using the 3-in-1 bar. Just putting it in the thing and
Instead of Dawn. Exactly.
Pretty good.
So for these and these, I think so too. But what I find is if I get any color for some reason below halfway, it just nothing gets it out. So that's why I'm like, okay, new one.
Oh, that's good. Huh.
Well, and I also like
They're so soft and pretty when they're new.
Lori Hogg, who's the beauty expert, the makeup artist that we work with a lot. She had suggested, and I love it. I have like 4 or 5 of the crease brushes and blending brushes so that I can cycle through them, and I might use them for 3 days in a row, spraying them in every day, but use them for 3 days in a row. And then I have a collection of like 5 or 6. So on the weekend, then I have a whole bunch of them to clean one at a time. And it helps to keep things really, really cleaner.
Huh. Oh, very interesting.
So, yeah, kind of fun. we have an awful lot of fun. I was just telling this girl this morning that I met how when I started doing Mary Kay, I was in love with the skincare. I'd actually been using it for 10 years, but I didn't wear lipstick, but I saw it because I signed up to do Mary Kay because it looked like fun, and I was kind of needing a lot of fun in my life at that point, and then I thought, oh my gosh, I don't even wear lipstick. What did I just do? But thank goodness we have people that train. Now, Maggie, on the other hand, has always loved makeup. And she studies it, which is why to this day she is. I mean, I can teach you makeup, but Maggie is passionate about makeup.
So much fun.
Showing us how to do that. So it's such a joy. We all have these different skills. It's really, really kind of fun. So
that sounds like fun.
So anyway, well, Ellen, I'm going to ask you that. I'm going to kind of put you on the spot. I apologize in advance if I'm like overstepping my bounds, but we have this contest that's ending tomorrow where you can you can be in a drawing for $500 cash if you ask Maggie or all of us, any of us, 5 questions about our Mary Kay business. So wouldn't that be fun?
Well, let's see. How long have you been doing it?
Well, Maggie?
I've been building my business for 5 years, but I've actually been in Mary Kay for 23.
Oh, wow.
24.
Yep, that's kind of long now. Beth, how about you? How long have you been with Mary Kay?
I've been since 01. Since 2001, so that's 22 years.
22 years, yeah. Helene, how long have you been with Mary Kay? Whoops, you're muted. You're muted, my friend. There you go. Oh, you're still muted. I don't know. You went on and off. There you are.
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, so I have been using Mary Kay for over 50 years, but I have been trying to help people with Mary Kay for like 6 years.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
so kind of like Maggie. I mean, you've kind of been using the product or whatever. I've been actually using the product for 52 years, and I've been a consultant for almost 42 years. This is what always amazes me. We have a terrific group, and we have over 100 people in our group, and at least 5 of them have also been with Mary Kay for over 40 years.
Oh, very
People
nice.
stick around with this. You know, they do a little, But anyway, okay, Ellen, another question. What's your next question? You got a panel
let's
right
see.
here.
How much time do you have to put in like per week?
Oh, I'm going to let people answer that question. Go for it, girls. Well, it depends on how much time I schedule in for it. Some weeks I spend a full 5 hours, sometimes 10, sometimes none. It really depends on what I can schedule in and what the needs are for my family.
Oh, great, beautiful. How about you, Helene? How much time do you spend in your Mary Kay each week?
I spend a lot of time with Mary Kay working with it as far as going out and talking to people. That's only maybe three hours a week, but I spend probably 10 hours working with the products.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So you are just an avid student of learning about the products and learning the ingredients and learning how to.
I love Mary Kay.
Yep. And we love you. So seriously. Beth, how about you? Now you're also a very active consultant. So how much time do you spend?
I would say I'd spend probably about 5 hours a week. But then when I'm at my other job, I just talk to people about it throughout the day.
Okay. So it's an interesting question because like I said, I was at the Apple store today. Do you count that Mary Kay time? Well, I don't kind of count it Mary Kay time, but I did introduce people to the product and introduce them to, to me a little bit. And I know because I have, I have a strong personal business, but I also have this incredible group of women that I work with and work on leadership with that. So I probably spend I delegate a lot. I'm about 15 hours a week, maybe. Yeah, I think about 15 hours a week, maybe 20, depending on what I'm doing. And so, and they keep giving me cars and diamond rings. It's absolutely amazing. So when you get good at it, then you can do more. So that's a good question, Ellen. What's another question?
Do you find that it's been helpful to be virtual now? Do you do a lot more online now?
Good question.
For me, it's both. I do a little bit of both. What I love about the virtual is that people that I couldn't connect with before because they are far away, I actually can now. So I still have a couple customers out where I'm from in Chicago, and there was no way I could actually do a facial with them or show them how to do or even foundation matching is very hard, obviously, when you just talk about it over the phone or even but when you're on the computer, when you have a bigger screen for FaceTime, it's a lot easier to connect with. But at the same time, people still want to get together in person and they still want that personal time with you. And it's great girlfriend time. So I find that wherever people are at, we can meet them there, which is even better than before. So that's my thought.
Absolutely. Helene, how about you? Do you do virtual?
So yes, virtual. I don't do online at all. I will look things up, like I'm doing this online. I do online things, but when it comes to Mary Kay, it's mostly virtual.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. And Beth, what about you?
I enjoy doing the in-person stuff. I'm not real big on the parties online or the facials online, but virtual's been very helpful as far as meetings online. Because you're in Nevada.
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Far away.
I am in Nevada. I am not local to any of you guys. Yeah, and I would have to say the same thing. I mean, but I was doing virtual before, and I really, really like it. I had about a 45-minute conversations with one of my Chicago customers yesterday, and we were going to do an in-person, a Zoom thing so I could show her the products, and it kind of didn't work. So I did a show and tell verbally. So it's a variety, but it kind of depends on your own personality and what you want to do.
I'm not good with Zoom. I'm surprised I got through today.
Well, and many people are not. I mean, Beth is not a Zoom kind of girl.
Not a Zoom person.
and it's okay because she's got a very, very successful business. Yeah.
No, you used to do facials and stuff like that, didn't you? When you did Mary Kay parties, do you still do that or demonstrations or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With actually people's homes, either that or have them at my house.
Oh, good. Good.
Absolutely. Yes. I mostly have people come to my house. I've got a girl coming on Saturday from 2 hours away, someone I met. And she said, I want to get some skincare going. I said, come to my house because I've got everything here. So yeah, we do both.
We do both.
Oh, very nice.
Good questions. Good questions. Any more questions? That was 5, I think.
Is that 5?
Or was
one more bonus.
Do you have It sounds like you have a lot of fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you're like doing Mary Kay is a lot of fun for everyone.
This is
You know,
playtime.
and we need fun these days, don't we? Yes, we do have a lot of, that's why I think people, well, that's why I started Mary Kay. I mean, I was director of a large occupational therapy department in Chicago, and I hated my job, and I just said, I need fun. So I said, I'm going to go play with makeup. And decided, then I had to learn how to do it. I went, oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
It makes people feel nice. It makes people feel happy. That's great.
It's one of the joys that we have. Well, and I just have to wrap this up and throw this information out there, Ellen. We actually have an opportunity just through tomorrow, which is the end of the month, for people that want to jump in and give it a shot. There's a $20 enrollment fee. It's like, really $20, and you can get half off on your product and all this training. Or you could get for $90, you can get $400 worth of product with a great big kit. If this is of interest to you at all, or maybe somebody you know, because you just learned a little bit more about the business.
Mm. Oh, I'll think about it. I'll think about what time tomorrow is the cutoff.
Well, probably you'd have to talk with Maggie. What time is your cutoff tomorrow, Maggie?
Midnight.
Midnight. Okay, you might want to do a little bit earlier, so you get till midnight.
All right.
But anyway,
I'll think about it. I'll be back to you by sometime tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, I'll text
beautiful.
you.
That would be fun.
That's good.
That would be fun. I mean, you never know. It isn't like a life or death decision. It's like, what the heck? Give it a shot. Anyway, here's what I want.
A lot of people.
And you know what? We teach people. We teach this part of our training is how do you meet people. It's like what I just did today over at the Apple store and whatever. You meet people, and we learn how to do that. It isn't something I learned from the beginning. But one of the things we get to do on our Thursday nights is do some announcements of what's coming up and recognition. So if you can indulge me for about another 5 to 7 minutes, stick with us, Ellen, because we've got some stuff we want to talk about with the consultants about what's coming up and what's ending tomorrow. So I'm going to share the screen here because we always have a fun meeting. Whoops, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong place. Right here, okay. Oh, that was my training from last week on how to do foundations. Sorry, skip ahead. This is what is ending tomorrow, where you can get $20 and you get a website and you get an amazing amount of training for no additional cost, as well as credit card processing company for $20, or for $90, it's usually $130. For $90, you can get a whole kit worth of $400 worth of supplies. And there is an optional $600 package if someone wants to start with, like, I have no idea what the products are and what to sell. So this is what you can get, and you can start using it yourself and show it to people. So that's the thing that's ending tomorrow, okay? Ending March 31st. And then we have an opportunity for our consultants to be on stage in Dallas at our annual seminar. We're going to start ramping that up, girl. Ann and I are already starting to look at places to stay, hotels, and different things that we're going to do. We're going to go with Jan Onstad again with our awards night at the international headquarters in Dallas. Oh, Ellen, you could come with us. It's so much fun. It's just really wonderful. Anyway, just throwing it out there. Okay, I have not planned the meetings for April yet. So, my friends, what I decided to do, I think some of you, it was earlier, I want to do a panel of people for Thursday next week of consultants that have been selling for a while, maybe selling a little or a lot or just for a long time, to give us some tips, and we can have a panel. But text me some ideas of what more training you would like for April and see where we go. Bingo, you heard we always have Ellen, we have this really fun thing. It's on Zoom for a half an hour every Tuesday night. We play bingo with Mary Kay and teach people about the product. The bingo card for April is now on, it's on our boards, and it's going to shortly be on our Facebook group. Okay, so you can send this to your customers and invite people to play bingo for a half an hour, learn about the products, learn about the company, and just have a blast, and then be sure to give them a thank you gift. And it's just always, always, always fun. So yeah, I had a guest last week on bingo. That was fun. I enjoyed it. Okay, so whoops, that's done. And this is also the half off. Ellen, you may have been taking advantage of this with Maggie, because for every $50 you spend, then you get to choose one of the half off deals, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we've got a new group for April. Okay, so the card is available, and I have to point out that the bingo is going to, oh yeah, I guess you can't see it, the bingo card will have the same products, so that people that are playing bingo can also take advantage of this, or they don't have to. Obviously, this is for all your customers. So that's available. So you may want to think about making sure you have some of these products on hand, because your customers are going to want them. Oh, look at that skin brightener. It's my favorite. I love it. Okay. The $500 cash. Oh my gosh, Ellen, you're going to be in the drawing. Okay. You get 5 entries just for asking, for asking 5 questions. So that was really cool. Wow. Cool. And Maggie's going to be sure to get that entry in by tomorrow, because the cutoff is at midnight tomorrow. It's like, and they cut it right off. Okay. And also, Maggie, I would love a little bit of feedback for Ellen and Beth about the training that we had last night with the red jacket, for people that have at least 3 people on their team that we had special training. What did you learn from it? What did you get from last night?
Well, what's really neat about it is that they have people in different steps of the leadership process. So we started out with actually people that were in directors and qualification, and how they were trying to ramp up momentum and how they overcame obstacles. And then you had a panel of seasoned directors also talking about kind of like overcoming obstacles and what was the turning point in their careers where they got from one point to another. One of the ladies that talked at the end, she what got her from being a sales director to being a $500,000 sales director? What was the push? And what she said was the big push was really she missed a goal. And when she missed a goal, she realized she needed actually to reach more women so that they all could be part of the team and work together for the higher goal. I thought that was really neat, because when it's just about you, you're more likely to say, okay, whatever with the goal. But when it's for all of you, when it's for the group, it's like, okay, wait, this is for all of our highest good. And it just makes you go that little extra bit farther. So it's actually pretty amazing. And I definitely want to earn it again this next coming month.
Plus, there's going to be a very special training from a $1 million director, wonderful $1 million director, for those that add 1 new team member or more in April. Okay, or this month, either starting from last week, I think it is. So anyone that gets started from like today through April 15th, that gets started in business, then Maggie's going to be a member. And I do have a new team member. I think I introduced her a little bit last week. She lives in San Antonio now, but she has been on my team before. She used to live in Westchester, Illinois. And she's been a friend of mine like forever. So I'm excited about watching her get started. And it's so amazing how many people come back. Life happens, and then people come back to Mary Kay because there's always an opportunity. Kind of fun. So, okay, we've got people that are golden rule achievers. This is a wholesale award every month, Ellen. And so we've got 4 of us so far that have achieved this. And just a reminder, I think I talked about it last week. The company is not happy with this cute little pouch that they sent to us. So they are going to send us a second one, because it's just better quality. I thought, wow, that's pretty awesome that they're doing that for us. Yeah. Okay. And then moving right along, we have got people that are on target to win the little wallet. We've got like 6 or 7 people that, gosh, I just have to go through this. So Tracy lives there in Connecticut, close, because she's on Maggie's team. Celine is in Missouri somewhere. or else Kansas. I don't know her. Carol Baker lives near Chicago. Bonnie Joseph lives in a rural Ohio. Celsa Hermosa lives right in Chicago. She's a nurse at University of Illinois Hospital. Trish Purcell lives in Tampa, Florida. This is an idea of who our team is. They're all over the place. And they do a little or they do a lot. It just depends and whatever. Okay, then we've got these cute earrings, and I know I see Maggie wearing them, and I'm wearing mine too. We have new earrings every single month. So when you're an achiever, look at this, Maggie, 58 months consistent, and Beth, 53 months consistent. Jean is 7. Tracy is 2 months consistent. And when you're a consistently working your business, then you get cute earrings every month. Kind of fun. Just a fun. I always like collecting things, but I don't know. That was kind of my thing. These are nicer than the one when I was a consultant. We got little stick-on stars. So my stuff is a little bit cuter. I'm just telling you. Okay, and then our queen for last week. Dun da da! It was Maggie, our queen for last week, with retail sales of $317. Beth Owen had $246, and a lot of people don't turn in their reports. They don't have to, but they don't get recognized. So it's all the decision people really want to. Okay, and then we've got the people that report how many items they sold every day, and this is just fun. Maggie, overachiever, 87 items for the month of March so far. Beth was 54. Jean was 40. The minimum was going to be 31. You guys are all overachievers. Just really, really having a good time. Good time. Just playing with your Mary Kay. I love it. This is what I sent to you guys. I'm sorry. I hope you get it sometime soon, because I sent you a nice letter with some handouts and tracking sheets. But start tracking, put this poster up somewhere, because these are going to be your awards for the end of the year, June 30th. And then I get to give you cash when we go to seminar. So you might want to really kind of focus on these things, Who's going to do 30 faces in 30 days? Hint, hint, plan on it for April. I'm not saying, but hint, hint. Plan on 30 faces in April. Okay?
And there's the new makeover contest in April, so it's perfect.
Exactly. There's a great makeover contest starting April 3rd. And we're going to hear more about that next week. But so you want to start working with that. And finally, this is our plan for next week. As I said, how about this panel of seller? I already told you about that. So I will be contacting people. It may be you guys, but I'm going to see if I can get some more people to join us. Finally, okay, here's the thing, my inspirational moment. If you're persistent, you'll get it. If you are consistent, you'll keep it. And that is a perfect example of the people that are on this Zoom event this evening, because these are the people that are working, that are consistent. I just love our group. we have a very special group. So anyway, any final thoughts, girls? Any goals for this week? Anything you want to finish up by tomorrow?
I'm still working on my Final Four sheet.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I'm still working on this Final Four sheet. I do the Final Four just like I do the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. So you're okay. The Final Four for basketball.
That game is Monday.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right. So so for every $10 someone who orders, they get a slot. It's kind of like a lottery.
Like Super Bowl. Yeah.
Like the Super Bowl squares.
Yeah.
Good idea. Good idea. Excellent. Excellent. You know what? I have to go back because I put something on here and I skipped it. Let me go back because I want to show you this. I put something out on Facebook. There was a director that decided she was going to contact 60 people to show them 5 products in 5 minutes this week. Okay. And I started making some phone calls too, but these are her results from last Sunday. This is like in 4 days. She started calling her customers. And so she sold $3,762 in 4 days. She talked to 25 people. She was going for 60, but so she got a hold of 25 and 13 of those were new people. They were old clients that she had for a while that did not order. There were 12 of them, but she did have a conversation and connected with them. 2 new team members, 3 people booked for appointments. She was selling the retinol product to 9 clients, the repair set for 1 client, miracle set for 2 clients. Total hours worked 20 hours. So she texted QVC style, which is show and tell, and placed an order. Okay, she did 1 face party with 9 guests. Wow. And spent 2 hours with no product testing. All she did was show and tell. So this is very focused. This is when you have built a customer base and you just focus in and get settled and say, you can do this. And that is the flexibility. I have to be honest, I have made, I think, 40 phone calls. I have probably about $300 in sales myself. I haven't worked it like she did. Okay, I haven't worked that many hours. I worked like 1 hour, maybe an hour and a half. So I haven't worked that hard, but again, it's the same. So as you build your business, you have these opportunities and people get excited. So I'm just throwing that idea out there. I want you guys to see those results. So thank you so much for being part of our group tonight. Ellen?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. And you know what? I hope you're kind of thinking about this because
come back.
Be fun.
Seems like you might have some fun with us. So talk to Mary. Well, you don't have to wait till tomorrow if you want to talk with Maggie tonight. She's
you can always call me.
It'll probably be tomorrow afternoon.
Have a beautiful March 31st and a super April Fool's Day.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, good.
Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.